took more than 4 years to get where we are today in this case against Sean Finnegan. Throughout the duration of the case, no emotion was shown from Finnegan until the last 2 days. In times of need, it truly takes a village to get a community back on its feet. One group put together by a former Lady Vol softball player and the Cott County community is one of faith and love, and that was shown here at the Cott County Fairgrounds as a group came together for a prayer vigil, praying for those who are on the front lines and those helping others in need. And what a year Pierce had. Definitely one of the more dominating forces on the defensive side of the ball for the Tennessee Volunteers. A bad situation here in Tellico Plains is continuing to get worse as conditions are deteriorating. No secret that Neyland Stadium is one of the loudest places to play a college football game in the league. Definitely some great news coming out of Northwest Knox County today as that evacuation has been lifted for this area, the 3,000-foot radius around CMC Recycling. With flooding already happening in several areas throughout the region today and expected throughout the weekend, what can you do to keep yourself safe? The number one tip is to never try and walk through floodwaters. Oftentimes, there are potentially dangerous items below the surface, like a live wire. If you live in a flood-prone area, keep an eye on the water levels and know when it's time to leave. When driving, never go through standing water. It's hard to tell how deep that water is. By now, you've probably heard the Alabama Supreme Court issued a ruling to effectively stop in vitro fertilization, or IVF. Now, Tennessee lawmakers are sharing their thoughts on the ruling. The Pride of the Southland Band is deeply entrenched in Tennessee football history, traveling wherever the team goes, including right here in Orlando for the Citrus Bowl. It's something that Assistant Director of Bands Dr. Fuller Lyon says is a way for the band to continue to show off their talent.
Anytime that we get to go out and represent the University of Tennessee is special, whether we're able to do that inside our state, in another SEC school, but also specifically when we go out on a bowl trip, we get to see another band in their university that's outside of our conference. We get to share exactly what we do, all the amazing things that our students are capable of. That's incredibly special for all of us to share Rocky Top.
Among those with the band is drum major Chandler DeArmond. He's been with the Pride for all 4 of his years at Tennessee and is always excited when it comes time to travel for games.
Some of my best friends in the entire world, friends that I'll hopefully keep the rest of my life. And it's truly special to come down here and get a trip with them and to spend time in a different state.
As we've reported in the past, this is the largest band in the school's history, and that can create some chaos when it comes time to wrangle all 415 members together for trips.
The whole saying of it takes a village with 415 students, while there are 2 directors that oversee the athletic band here at UT, we do have a ton of and tremendous help. We have some 4 grad students. We have numerous black suits that are undergraduate students that serve as our staff members. We also have people that serve in advisory roles.
The Pride will be bringing its large sound to Camping World Stadium, trying to incite the Vol faithful to cheer loud for Vol football. This morning's rehearsal at the University of Central Florida was the only one that the band is going to have while here in Orlando. They also participated in the Citrus Bowl pep rally to really kick off all the bowl festivities. The Cott County community is one of faith and love, and that was shown here at the Cott County Fairgrounds as a group came together for a prayer vigil, praying for those who are on the front lines and those helping others in need. It was a night of prayer.
Bless us all as we part our ways and we go different ways. We pray that
and singing.
Each one by faith.
Cott County Mayor Rob Mathis was in attendance for the gathering. He told us what the good turnout says about the community.
It was inspirational, in one word. This disaster has reminded us of 3 main things. 1, we still need God. 2, we still need each other. And 3, it's reminded us of who we are as a community. And the challenge for us, and that I think that we need to remember is going forward even after the recovery and after this disaster is over with and behind us, is to hang on to those 3 things. And that's what we're going to rebuild upon for this whole community.
Josh Reed, a Cott County native, says no matter what's going on, small communities will always band together in times of need.
it shows, if a small community, with not very many people, that'll come together, It shows that people's willing to work together in a hard time like this, regardless, of any of it. It's a tight-knit community.
For Hartford native Allie Leatherwood, it was empowering to see a group come together to pray for all those in need or who have been on the front lines helping save lives.
It's very heartwarming and inspiring, especially as a teenager and a young Christian. It just shows how the community still relies on God mainly, and even with the ways of the world, that we still trust in God.
As the community continues to mend wounds from the floods, there's no shortage of help from people in Cott County.
This community is love. This community itself has always been about unity, love, and helping each other.
Cott County Mayor Rob Mathis said this is a strong community and they will rebuild better than ever.
We, the jury, unanimously find the punishment for the defendant Shannon Finnegan shall be death.
This case started 4 years ago in August of 2020 when Colt Pico, a neighbor of Sean Finnegan, called 911 as his wife drove Rebecca Dishman to a women's shelter in Claiborne County. Colt's wife telling him that Dishman had revealed to her what had happened to Jennifer Paxton. The state called nearly 24 witnesses, including Pico and his wife, throughout the first week of the trial as it presented its case. Prosecutors also called on Dr. Darinka Malusinek of the Knox County Regional Forensic Center to lay out the injuries found on Jennifer Paxton's body.
There's also slicing injury on the lower back, and that would be in the midline. And we'll see one of the photographs right here. And then there's also the slicing injury over the right gluteal region.
We then heard the interview between Sean Finnegan and Oak Ridge Police. He was adamant he did not kill Paxton and that he was scared. Then came the verdict Paxton's family had been waiting for. Finnegan found guilty on 11 of 13 charges, ranging from first-degree murder to tampering with evidence.
Count 1, premeditated first-degree murder of Jennifer Paxton. We, the jury, find the defendant Shannon Finnegan guilty of criminally negligent homicide. Verdict form for count 2, first-degree felony murder of Jennifer Paxton during the perpetration of attempt to perpetrate aggravated rape. We, the jury, find the defendant Shannon Finnegan guilty of first-degree felony murder during the perpetration or attempt to perpetrate for aggravated rape.
When it came time for the sentencing hearing, the defense called upon a former family member of Sean Finnegan, his brother's ex-wife, Roxanne Mundy. Mundy knew the family well and was key in describing to the jury.
Didn't want to cry, but just couldn't handle the pain any longer, and told his little brother that he was being abused by the uncles, sexually abused, and made to do things, against his will, what he didn't want to do. It was just horrific for someone to take, a child, making them do things and laying them on their bellies and beating them.
This also marked the first time in the case where we saw any sign of emotion from Sean Finnegan, and that brought us to where we are today, the jury sentencing him to death by lethal injection.